Hello, it's Lee Henkin here from Hyper Prospecting. So this video today is going to be a super valuable action-packed one because I'm going to be sharing and giving a kind of brief walkthrough of all the different cold email outreach frameworks I use. Okay, so these frameworks are what I use to create cold email messaging scripts and templates. This is what I use for my campaigns in my own business. And whenever I'm working with a client, doesn't matter what capacity, whether it's kind of a coaching, consulting capacity, or more of a done for you service capacity, these are the frameworks I'm using for clients as well. So there's basically 9 frameworks I'm going to go through. And if you struggle with coming up with messaging scripts that are actually relevant, unique to your offering and target market, so if you struggle with those things, this will help you a lot, I would imagine, because the frameworks are not copy and paste kind of things that you see a lot online in general. These are frameworks that allow you to tailor your approach based on what it is you're offering and who you're reaching out to. So in that respect, um, it's much different compared to just your typical fill in the blanks scripts and templates that you often see people promoting on social media and whatnot. So yeah, so these are fairly different in that regard. So without further ado, I'm going to dive right into it and go through each of the 9 frameworks. So each of the 9 frameworks is going to have an example. These are hypothetical examples. I just want to point that out. The reason I've added them in is because it'll allow you to see and think how you can tailor the framework to your offering and target market. That's pretty much the point. Okay. So let's dive into it. So the framework. So number 1 here, yeah, I'm not going to read all these out because otherwise this video will go on for like an hour. But you can see on the screen here what the framework is. Okay. So you can see the placeholders. So each framework will have a placeholder, and this is basically the customization you can use. So this framework here, okay, is essentially a lead magnet one. And below this, you'll see the example. Okay, so here's kind of an example of how you would do it. So again, as I mentioned, these are all hypotheticals as well. So they're not actual literal client examples. I've just added these in so then the framework itself will make more sense. So you can see here in the example, basically how the example follows this structure from the framework. Okay, so you can come up with a lead magnet. Could be anything. So in this example, it's like a free guide. Could be a video. I mean, you could offer a case study. Could be some kind of analysis report. Could be a lot of things. Honestly, it's just again that's going to depend on your business. But yeah, hopefully this example here kind of makes sense as to how you could use this. Okay, so really important things. Yeah, it's obviously something free, very easy to say yes to. There's relevance because we're talking about a hypothetical SaaS company. Obviously, this is made up. Talking about a mechanism, obviously who it's for. We did it for another SaaS company, and then obviously a specific result, and then a call to action. This last one. So you can see how this example follows this framework structure, and then how it's filled in and tailored in the example. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. It's a really good one. Had a lot of success with this one. It's very easy to say yes to if you have a good lead magnet. It's that the market perceives as valuable. Okay. So next we have the second one. This is honestly just a variation of framework 1, but it's much shorter. As you can see, it's literally just a sentence. That's literally all it is, like one sentence. And then you've got like yeah, social proof credibility. So how would this work? as you can see in this example. So yeah, literally one sentence. That's it. The lead magnet is the video. Okay. And you can see what the video is then explaining what it's going to do. It's going to show the person how they can get more inbound leads from their organic website traffic. And here in the PS, so we didn't use social proof. We just used the credibility boosting statement. Okay. Well, yeah, so if you're using, depending on the database you're using to get your lead list, some of them will tell you like how much website traffic. I mean, there's tools like, I think SEMrush will do that. There's various other tools that'll tell you. So in this hypothetical example, we're literally in the PS saying we saw how many site visits they're getting per month, and then we're telling them how the video is going to allow them to convert a percentage of those site visitors. So you could actually even put in this hypothetical example, you could even put in these changes allow you to convert X percentage. So I don't know, 2%, 500. I don't know. You just make up some number that's going to be realistic to what you do. Again, like I said, these are hypothetical examples. So the point is to show you how you would tailor the framework. Okay, so as you can see, it's very simple. You're just adding in the lead magnet. And then this statement here, the PS, that just adds personalization that is relevant. Okay, the personalization about monthly site visitors is relevant to this first sentence. So that's how that works. Okay, very powerful way to do it. Yeah, if you've got a good lead magnet, there's honestly a lot of different stuff you can do. So number 3, this is probably this is one of my favorite ones. In general, I really like the direct approach. And there's a lot of ways you can do that. As you can see, it's like relevant touch points. A relevant touch point could be so many things. It could be like, I noticed we follow the same pages on, I don't know, SEO on LinkedIn. I noticed your YouTube channel on, I don't know, growth hacking, something like that. There's heaps of stuff you can do. So relevant touch point allows a lot of room to come up with different ways. So the main thing is that, yeah, this first sentence is just a relevant touch point that you're calling out because that gets attention and it creates relevance to whatever the offering you've got is. And then you're here. This is just basically a value proposition, proof case study, CTA. So example, you can see here. So the first sentence here, it's just saying, yeah, saw you're a partner at Johnson PI Law, personal injury law. And then it's like the value proposition, telling them what you do. Social proof, saying you did it, helped another PI, personal injury law firm, do this. Call to action, value-driven call to action. Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't say yes to seeing a Google Doc showing a strategy on how you helped a competitor get whatever result it is you're reaching out about? So yeah, hopefully you can see how you can tailor this framework to be very powerful and relevant to who you're reaching out to, and very low risk call to action. It's very easy to say yes to something like a Google Doc or a video, something like that. Okay. Number 4, this is kind of a variation of the framework 3. Is you're just asking a pain point question rather than kind of pointing something out. But then again, you can see it kind of just then dives straight into the value proposition and a CTA. Okay, so how that would work. So this hypothetical example. So, imagine this example here is like a consulting firm that specializes in supply chain management, that kind of thing. That's what this hypothetical example is. Yeah, so the pain point question. So, you say you're a consulting firm that specializes in supply chain, inventory management, something like that. And the pain points of that market. This first sentence, yeah, you just ask a question related to that pain point, as you can see in this example. Then you just tie that in, that first question, into the value proposition in the next sentence. And then it's just very simple call to action. So, and you can do a different call to action, like this is ask for a chat. I mean, you could literally just do a call to action that's like, can I send info about how we help manufacturing firms basically reduce costs by 15% within 6 months. That's actually probably a better one. It's call to action than this one here that's on the screen here. And then, yeah, the PS, which is just the social proof. So, yeah, hopefully you can see how you would, from that example, how you would tailor this framework, and you really tailor it to so many different offerings and markets. Framework 5. So this is kind of the observational kind of approach. Yeah, where you're kind of reaching out. Yeah, and just mentioning, you see whatever their role is, and then you basically just lead straight into whatever results they want. And then the case study authority booster here, how that would look. Yeah, so you can see, I see you oversee operations at ABC Metals. So that's just calling out this here. Creates relevance. So it's not an email you would send literally to everyone, because obviously not everyone works in operations. So, it's a much more segmented kind of email approach. And then, yeah, the question, it's basically, again, it's essentially what your main promise value proposition is, just as a one sentence question and call to action that it ends up being. That's literally it. And then here, so very simple framework. Okay, that's another one I really like, have a strong preference for. If you know from your market research what results your ideal clients want, yeah, this is a super powerful one. Okay, especially when you're tied into a result in the PS. Number 6. So this is a good one too. You're basically leading in with your pain point, what you know about that market. Then your value proposition, case study. That's just, yeah, case study. I mean, call to action in this last sentence. So how that looks. So as you can see in this hypothetical example, you're just talking about that, one of the challenges from ICP, in this case D2C, direct to consumer founders. So if they're doing, maybe you did some research and you have a specific list of companies that you identified, I don't know, using a tool like Clay or something, that they're running influencer marketing campaigns, and they have sort of kind of email subscription list, stuff like that. This would be super relevant. That's kind of how it would work. And then it's just like, again, does that sound like you? And then essentially your value proposition and a case study. So, again, it's tied in to what we're talking about with the pain point and challenge in the first sentence. And then we're saying how we helped another client get a result. And then here, call to action, just a video, very low risk. Okay, so that's number 6. Hopefully you can see how you could tailor that and use that framework. Framework number 7. This is a very direct approach. Yeah, I find I think this one doesn't work as well with sophisticated markets personally. That kind of get more emails than others. So like e-com stores and stuff like that are just absolutely bombarded. But again, if you're in e-com, feel free to try this out. It might be a way you can tailor this framework to be super effective for what you do. But just my experience has been, this is a bit of a more of a difficult one to pull off with very sophisticated prospects. But yeah, so you can see it's just saying, do you want the result with mechanism? And then it's like, yeah, you're telling them what the mechanism does. time, you got a risk reversal. So if you got like a guarantee of sorts, you would tie that in. And then the call to action here. So hypothetical example, as you can see, yeah, you're just asking the result. And then we're saying basically, since our system guarantees these results in that time frame, so 60 days as mentioned in the first sentence, or we keep working at no extra cost, would you like to see how this works? So yeah, like I said, I've found in sophisticated markets, even with risk reversals and stuff, it's like harder to kind of get attention and cut through. But um, yeah, in less sophisticated markets, especially if you got a risk reversal, this framework's like pretty solid, to be honest. But yeah, so this is a really simple and easy to use. If you've got a risk reversal, yeah, this is a really good one. Okay. Number 8, the second to last framework. We're almost done. So yeah, this is a really good one for super personalizing your outreach, because you're basically saying like that you saw something about that company, and then it's like reaching out because you've done X, Y, Z, and you've done it for other similar, their competitors, similar companies in their market. So yeah, it's a really good one, and then just this call to action. So hypothetical, as you can see here, saw your Instagram story featuring your restaurant's new tasting menu. I mean, you really can't get more personalized than that. All right. And I'm reaching out because we've helped other upscale spots like blah blah midweek reservations through local SEO. I mean, it's just obviously again, this is a hypothetical example, but you can see how you can make this framework very personalized and relevant. And then it's just like, yeah, can I share this work for your restaurant? I really love this one because of how personalized you can get. Like, if you use this one, like if you send 1,000 emails and you're calling out something very personalized about your prospects, I just can't see how you won't get positive responses, particularly with this. It's just, yeah, because of the way you can personalize it. I mean, another example off the top of my head, you could be like, hey, name, saw your LinkedIn profile and reaching out because we've helped other SaaS founders optimize their LinkedIn profiles to get, I don't know, 5 to 10 book calls a month from their LinkedIn presence. It's like, and then a CTA in that example could be like, want me to send you over a 2-minute video that shows you where you could improve your LinkedIn profile to book more calls. It's like, who wouldn't reply to that? So there's just so many options with this framework. It's a really good one. If you've got data points to personalize your outreach with, it's super effective because it feels one-on-one. Even though it's going to be automated, it just feels one-on-one. So yeah, so if you've got a lot of data points you can use, this one, like I said, I just can't believe anyone wouldn't get results with it. Like, really. Um, Number 9, the last one. This is just like a question. So this is kind of where you're using the first sentence, which is a question, to it's almost like using it as a filter, because it's like, yeah, he's getting result a priority for you at the moment. It like filters through your messaging whether they're going to be potentially a good fit or got some interest. Okay, so this is actually a really good one as well. I quite like this one because of that reason. Because a lot of the times with cold outreach, you're not always going to have data points that indicate someone's in a position where they'd be looking for your solution. So if you want to cast a wide net, this is a really good one because the first sentence will do the filtering for you. So yeah, and then it just leads in to basically like some proof, how it works and whatnot. Then a very simple call to action. So how that would look, again, hypothetical, using the restaurant one. So, if you had to cast a wide net to restaurants, you didn't have data points for some of them in this example. Yeah, it's just like he's increasing midweek reservations of priority. So if it's something you're interested in, you're probably going to reply, yeah, I've got some interest in it. This is why I like this approach when you're casting a wide net, because it'll filter through this first sentence. And then, yeah, you just lead into a case study, talking about another restaurant, Tuesday, Wednesday bookings by 35% using local SEO. It's like ties into this. So it's very, very relevant still. I think your restaurant could see a similar lift. There it is of what we did. Interested in seeing it. So again, the CTA, you're just asking, do they want to see the case study for Coastal Bistro? So yeah, so that's pretty much it. That's the 9 frameworks. Hopefully you can see from these hypothetical examples for each how you can use these. Like I said at the start of the video, this is what I use, like without fail, when I'm creating strategies, new messaging. Yeah, like if you know who you're targeting and you've got a good list, accurate list of the right people to reach out to, good data, good email addresses, and you got a good offer, like one of these frameworks will work. Like I can almost guarantee you that. Again, though, to preface that, good targeting, good offer, because you can have the best copywriter in the world write your messaging scripts, but if you don't have good targeting, good offer, they won't do anything, because messaging is an amplifier of an offer. Okay, it's a really important thing to point out, because a lot of people, in my opinion, place too much emphasis on messaging scripts, because messaging scripts only amplify an offer. So yeah, just want to point that out, because it's really important, and not to think this is a magic bullet, because it's going to depend on you having the fundamentals of your targeting and your offering solid first. But if you got those two things solid, those core fundamentals, like you will get results using one of these frameworks. That I can almost guarantee, because you can see how there's so much leverage and maneuvering for personalization and to make them relevant, which is why I wanted to show these examples for each, just so then you can visually see how it would work, how you can tailor them for any offering and target market, which is why I call them frameworks. So this is much more effective to rely on than templates or scripts you find online where people say you just got to fill in the blanks. It's just complete nonsense, in my opinion. Frameworks is what you want to rely on like this, because you can tailor them in a more effective way. So yeah, that's it. Hopefully that was a lot of value for you and made make sense. That's it for this one. If you liked the video, please give a like, share it if you think it's going to be useful to other people you know. Subscribe to the channel, get notifications when the next videos will be. If you got any questions too, just feel free to drop a comment. Try to get back to comments as quick as possible. And yeah, and last but not least, if you want more one-on-one help, my help with your cold email messaging, coming up with good messaging scripts, strategy, everything, tying it all together, do reach out and book a call. There will be a link to book a call in the video description. So yeah, please do. Then we can go from there, see if there's a good fit. So that's it. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.